Assalamu alaikum. In the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Merciful, I bear witness there is no God but Allah, who came to us in the person of Master ABUDL Muhammad. And I bear witness that the most honorable Elijah Muhammad is indeed non-exalted Christ. I furthermore indeed bear witness that the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan is our divine reminder, leader, teacher, and guide, the Messiah today. I greet you all in the nation greeting words of peace. We say it in the Arabic language, Assalamu alaikum. All praise is due to Allah. On behalf of Brother ABUDL Muhammad and the Let Us Make Man family, as always, family, we continuously thank you for your support. We thank you for taking a few moments of your time to watch the videos, read our posts, support our cause, our efforts in the plight of the Black community. We can never thank you enough. This is going to be a very short video, family. I'm going to get straight to the point and not consume much of your time. The objective goal of this particular video is to share and appeal for your support in supporting our big brother, student minister, ABUDL Muhammad, who is actually principal in the city of Chicago public school system. So, CPS, Chicago Public Schools. And before I get started with this particular video, let me just say this, family. And we fast and pray Allah, no one gets offended, but this is just a reality check. When someone loses a loved one, it is humble. It should be humble in us to allow the family or the individuals that may have lost a loved one the opportunity to accept their loss and adjust to their loss before we go public with it nationally, locally, or whatsoever. We understand modern times is totally different from where it may have been 30 to 40 years ago. If someone passes on, you hear it through the grapevine. However, nowadays, it doesn't even take the body, or the body is not even given enough time to turn cold before we all begin to broadcast the loss of someone without giving the family the proper due and the opportunity to adjust to their loss. So in my humble respect, man, we just simply say, allow, when someone loses a loved one, allow them to, or the opportunity to adjust, and then make the public or national announcement in regards to their loss. That's just out of love, respect. That's all I want to say to that point. Getting to this particular subject matter at hand that we want to deal with, lean on me. I was sent the link to the brief message shared by our big brother, ABUDL Muhammad, who is basically a principal in Chicago Public Schools. Along with that, our national secretary, Brother Sahad, opened up the message and shared with us his point of view before he brought Brother ABUDL on. I have to be honest with you, I've kind of been watching this situation from a distance, not really realizing what was really going on with my brother in terms of dealing with the public school system in Chicago and the position that he was in. And so when I clicked on the link, I had the opportunity to watch the entire link, the entire message from the very beginning to the end. And as I was listening, first and foremost, we will post the link for those who may have not seen this or may not even be aware of what I'm talking about. We will post the link under this video once it's completed, that you could click on to the link and you could be well aware of what we're saying and why we're asking for your support, that we support our brother nationally, regardless to the fact that he's in Chicago or Illinois and you may be in Wisconsin or Georgia, wherever you may be. This is a problem, family, that has affected the Black community for decades. This is a design plan as well. So brother shared some very, very interesting and important messages regards to what Brother Abdul shared in that video. It's well worth listening to, family. It's well worth listening to because it will truly help us understand the state of Black America and why our young people are in the current mind that they're in today. And when you listen to the brother and what he's sharing, you would understand. But what it brought to my attention was, as I was listening to it, the former principal of Patterson Eastside High School, Principal Joe Clark, who I believe got the job in 1993, 1983 or 84. However, Principal Joe Clark faced the same elements that our dear brother ABUDL Muhammad is facing today in 2023. Now, mind you, our dear brother Joe Clark is no longer with us physically, but he left a mark in the public school system in Patterson, New Jersey. He had to fight the same elements that our dear brother Abdul is fighting today, just to give our children a sense of assurance, security, education, love, and respect. And as a former member, as Brother Sahad, the National Secretary, shared with us, that it was personal to him because he attended that school, was with myself. It was personal to me when Principal Joe Clark took on the job a year after I left the school, which I was a student of Patterson Eastside High School, with majority of my family that attended Patterson Eastside High School. And when Patterson Eastside High School was going through what it was going through before Principal Joe Clark came, it was the same elements that it's a little more dangerous now than it was back then, but they had the same elements, the similarities, 100%. What our dear brother Abdul is going through and what Principal Joe Clark had to go through in order to give our children some sort of hope and some sort of dignity in learning and education, and even providing them with the security that they needed to attend the school at a time when school fights and all sorts of things was taking place. Patterson Eastside High School was one of those situations, and I'm not proud to say, family, but I have to be perfectly honest, that I was one of those students that didn't do the right thing, so to speak, or contributed to a lot of the issues that the school or the staff and teachers and things of that nature was going through. So I was one of those contributors to the left. I'm not proud of that, but that's just a reality in regards to my tenure at Patterson Eastside High School, started from 1978 to 1982. And so I wanted to share this because, what our dear brother Abdul is going through now is the same thing Principal Joe Clark had to fight. And unfortunately, majority of the people that he was fighting was people that looked just like us. The same thing that Brother Abdul is fighting. A lot of the people that Brother Abdul is fighting is looking just like us in the Chicago public school systems. If you click on the link, when we put the link under this video, you will hear the work that this brother Abdul was putting in. Principal Joe Clark came and he served Eastside, but Brother Abdul had served half the city of Chicago and put himself in the line of fire on multiple occasions for the love of Black youth. And this is why I say it's a design plan, because this enemy of ours does not want us to be a part of his social equality. This is why the God said, why does the devil keeps us apart from his social equality? He does not want us to know how filthy he is in all of his affairs. And to prove that Mr. Muhammad lessons or teachings is 100% right and exact, as I was listening to Brother Abdul as he was sharing, when he made that statement and said that He called that teacher to the carpet about the funds that she put in her own personal bank account that did not belong to her, that actually belonged to the school, that should have been accounted for, that wasn't accounted for. She got called to the carpet on it, and immediately Brother Abdul became public enemy number one, and ultimately they devised a plan to get our brother out. However, I want to say, with little knowledge that I have of this situation, my brother ABUDL MUHAMMAD is already victorious. He's already victorious because he got God on his side. Whenever you got God on your side, you will be the winner. And he's the winner already, regardless to the outcome of the situation, regardless to dealing with Chicago public school systems. Chicago public school system has a history that goes 90 years back when the most honorable Elijah Muhammad took his children out of the schools. They arrested him and incarcerated him because he took his children out of the schools. If I'm wrong, I stand to be corrected. But he did suffer a grave penalty dealing with Chicago public school system. And it's unfortunate that when it comes to dealing with our own people, we are blocked by our own people, and those that's in the positions of a higher authority in the public school systems take full advantage. Because if we only knew how much money goes into the public school systems and how much money that goes into the pockets of those who sit at the table, as scandalous as they can be, and as the brother that he shared, I can't think of the brother's name, that's supporting him. If you watch the video, and you'll see as the brother is presenting his presentation and his concern and the treatment in regards to our brother Abdul and the multiple black teachers that have been fired or removed from their positions. As soon as this brother started speaking, the Caucasian couldn't take it. He was so rude and disrespectful, would not let the brother complete his sentence and his statement, and then ultimately had security remove the brother. And who was the security? The black man. We love this Caucasian so much, we put our life on the line to secure him, knowing that our brother was 100% correct, and they couldn't stand the reality that they were being called to the carpet. So I wanted to make this brief video just to support our beloved brother Abdul, student minister ABUDL MUHAMMAD, out of Chicago. Beautiful brother. I had the opportunity to meet brother briefly in 2016. And, you know, I actually put the photo up that we shot that year. But I wanted to say, family, we have to get behind each other. It's not a matter should we know each other. All we have to do is know that the intentions is good and the individual can present their work. And as you watch the video, Brother Abdul did an awesome job in presenting his work in regards to what he has done since he's been a part of the Chicago public school systems. But like in reality, man, anywhere black men go who stands up for truth and justice and the light of understanding, they will always suffer to some extreme degree when it's time to dealing with this Caucasian, because he does not want us to know how filthy he is in all of his affairs. That's just the public school system. God knows how much thievery and robbery that goes on nationally, and we suffer the brunt of it because our children are deprived the security, the comfort, the education that they truly need. And when you have children who have to go to school and worry about how if they're gonna make it home or not, or have to defend themselves, how do they get time to think about education and learning when they're worrying about how they're gonna get home, or if they're gonna be a part of some sort of big gang fight or fight period? And brothers like our beloved brothers, student minister Abdul, who has worked tirelessly and feverishly in the Chicago public school system, stood up and stands up for what he believed, and he explains in detail. So I'm not putting words in or taking words out. We're going to post a link so you can actually hear it yourself and see how important it is. We have to stop playing naive and in a sense of not wanting to get behind each other. Wherever state we from, whatever voice we can lift, and wherever we at, then we should be willing to do that, to say to the Chicago public school systems, we can't tolerate you mistreating our people the way that you are. And our beloved brother Abdul, my brother Abdul, is not the only principal of the African American descent in Chicago public school system that has been mistreated and falsely accused of accusations and charges that cost them their employment. So we need to get behind and just follow the link. And as we post the link, we fast and pray that you click on the link and listen to it yourself, family. I'm just giving you my small take on what I heard after watching the entire the message, and in terms of the video, and listening to my beloved brother and our national secretary, Brother Saad, as he explained, how important it was to him personally, and why he's putting so much effort into it. And this is why we have to realize, family, getting behind each other and showing support says a lot. We can't allow this enemy of ours to continuously handle us and treat our children any way they want. As the brother explained, the same thing with Patterson Eastside High School. It was known to be one of the most notorious schools in the state of New Jersey, specifically in Passaic County area. And there was really no love given to the students and the teachers as well, which caused the diversion and the separation between teacher and student. Principal Joe Clark came on in 1983 or 84, but I want to say 1983. And the short period of time that he spent in Eastside High School, he made a terrific change or drastic change, but he suffered the worst because he too was arrested and charged with being this wild man with a baseball bat, XYZ, and all this other stuff, never telling the people what this man was really up against in terms of trying to secure Patterson Public Eastside High School. And as I said, I'm not proud to say that at that point in time, from 1978 to 1982, I was a part of the riffraff and the hard-headed, the stubborn ones that didn't want to do right and ran through the school thinking we could do whatever we want because we didn't have Principal Joe Clark at the time. Principal Joe Clark came a year after I left, I believe, and he turned the school around, and the students loved the principal. Same thing with Brother Abdul Muhammad. The student loves the principal, so why take away what they love? Why take away what they're willing to compromise with and work with for the betterment of themselves and student education? Why do that? Envy, jealousy, and hatred, because those that do that have no real love and concern about the education of our youth, our young people. And so this is why it's important, family, that we put aside our differences, settle our differences, put aside our religious ideologies and faiths and allow that stuff to trap us off and keep us separated. We must unite and get behind each other, get behind our brother. Once again, I will put the link up behind this video. Once this video is done, you could click on the link. As a matter of fact, I would like for you to click the link and just listen to what the brother's saying and try to put your mind in the state that you live in, the county that you live in, and the city that you live in, as brother is explaining what he's dealing with in Chicago, in Illinois, in the state of Illinois, the city of Chicago public school system. And it's interesting because whenever a black man stands up and go inside the social equality of this Caucasian system, and if he's not with it, then he becomes public enemy number one. And they will come together and they will use black people that look like you and I. It's not a mystery that they chose to use one of the individuals, so happened to be a black lady, to assist this little lily white girl who got a title, and all of a sudden she became this so important individual. Yet in all our own people will not stand behind our brother. We don't have to know Brother Abdul Muhammad. Just listen to what the brother's saying. Know that the man's heart is with our youth. And when you are on 63rd Street in Chicago and some of the areas that he mentioned, you best believe It ain't no place to be if you ain't got heart and if you ain't a soldier. And if you ain't got heart, there ain't no place for you to be. So for this man to go out there and escort students to the bus that could be shot at any given time, and he could be taken out at any given time, being caught up in the crossfire, but he puts his life on the line, and for Chicago public school system to come at him and the multiple black principals that they have already came at and became the cause of these people not being able to take care of their children. Because when you get rid of this principal, you're actually doing damage to the students, because now the students feel they have no one to look to, no one to turn to. You took away from them all that they had, so they go right back to where they was, and that's what they want. You have to understand the mind of Satan. That's what they want. They don't want these students to be successful and great black men and women. They want them to stay public enemy number one. They want them to stay a primary target and focus of the American judicial system and justice department, so they can justify any wrong and any harm that they do to our young people. So with that being said, family, I just want to share these few words and support our brother ABUDL MUHAMMAD, principal in Chicago public school system, and share that link that I was able to listen to after it was shared to me by one of my brothers, and I was able to listen to it and really tap into it, man, and it really got to me, because as I was listening, I could only think about where I'm from, Patterson Eastside High School in Patterson, New Jersey, and when Principal Joe Clark came in 1983, there was a lot of controversy and a lot of riffraff and all this other stuff about the man, but the man had love for the students. The man was rough on the students because he wanted them to succeed and be successful. He didn't want them to wind up where they at today. And if you think about it, if you're from Patterson, New Jersey, just think that it's the same situation in Chicago, Illinois right now. The students are out now, and they just don't have any love for the education, the public educational system that they may have had when they had principals that actually cared about them, principals that would actually come and talk and walk with and share thoughts with them, principals that wasn't there to just badger and beat them down and suspend them, give them time out of school, but work with them, even get to know their families, if that's what it's going to take to keep these young men and women in line, so to speak, in the line in the proper direction, not to the prison system, but to become successful individuals in the social equality of this so-called enemy of ours, or the devil, or the white man, however you want to term it. But I just want to say, family, support our brother ABUDL, student minister ABUDL MUHAMMAD out of Chicago, Illinois, Mos Mariam, who is actually a principal in CPS Chicago Public Schools. And so we want to find ourselves just clicking on the link, family, as you already know, on the Let Us Make Man program. When it comes to the Nation of Islam, we're going to do all we can to help and support our beloved brothers and sisters, no matter what the issue is, no matter who they are, whether they're at the top or at the bottom, in the middle, whatever the case may be. If we get a whiff of your story, we'll share it on our program and use this platform that we're using to push Mr. Muhammad's programs, the teachings of the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad, as is taught today by the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. So, family, please believe me when I tell you, it is very, very, very important that you just click on the link. I don't care where you at, what city, what state you're in. Click on the link and listen to the entire message that brother is sharing. It's long and lengthy. It's only an hour, but it's worthwhile listening to. And even at the very end, when our national secretary closes it out, brother Saeed, pardon me if I butcher my brother's name. I don't mean it, but I'm trying to do my best. But in any event, as he closes out the message, it's a beautiful message. And they both close it out in prayer as they open the message up in prayer. We're in that hour. We're at war, family. And we will not win if we don't unite. Thank you for listening. I leave you as I came before you. In the nation, with the words of peace and paradise. Assalamu alaikum.